Hello everyone, welcome to an analysis of dance, where we discuss the movements and debuts of the Billboard Hot Dance charts in immaculate detail, with in-depth reviews of each debut each week. I tell you what, these past few weeks have really made 2023 out to be a super exciting year for the dance charts. I mean seriously, 6 debuts, 2 of which are really high, some considerable movement around the charts and quality that seems to be mostly positive. It's all giving 2023 a lot to be excited about, and I'm absolutely not complaining there. I mean yes, we still have an absolutely awful number 1 in I'm Good Blue by David Guetta and BB Rexa, which is starting to stall out bit on radio, about goddamn time with this one. But we also have BZAP Music Sessions Volume 53 by BZAP and Shakira at number 2, which is getting big on radio with strong streaming. It seems to be holding steady for now. That's really promising. Of course, we also have both Elton John songs of Hold Me Closer with Britney Spears at number 3 and Cold Heart P&A remix with Dua Lipa at number 4. But really, with collapsing radio and weaker streaming, they're both vulnerable, especially against 1035 by Tiesto featuring Tate McRae up to number 5, which has finally debuted on the Hot 100 this week with strong streaming, steady airplay growth and decent sales. It's most likely the song that will knock Cold Heart into the danger zone in the next few weeks. I would love to see this continue up. It's a great song. As a result of this huge surge, Miss You by Oliver Tree and Robin Schulz is down to number 6, but really it's got mostly okay streaming and some radio to keep it holding steady. Unlike BZAP Music Sessions Volume 52 by BZAP and Quevedo at number 7, Break My Soul by Beyonce at number 8, Numb by Marshmello and Khalid at number 9, and Metamorphosis by Interworld at number 10. They're all relying on streaming, maybe a bit of radio for the first 3, but otherwise is seriously vulnerable should something with real legs pick up any momentum. But what isn't are our falls and fourths, where the biggest was Bad Memories by Medusa, James Carter, Ellie Duhay, and Fast Boy exiting after 26 weeks and comfortably making a pretty high year-end list spot, which is good by me, as well as Simply the Best by the Black Eyed Peas, Anita, and El Alpha finally exiting and likely missing the year-end list. Good. What's more interesting comes in our dropouts for No Love For You by Regard and Drop G, right off its gains, as well as Via Hey by Faruko. Wow, that's an absolute shame. It's likely going to miss the year-end list unless it gets a rebound. I hope that happens. The song is great. That same sense of disappointment comes in our falls as well, most of which are actually really good songs dropping. I mean, let's get the debuts from last week out of the way first, since most of these either dropped out or saw big falls, with Work With My Love by Alok and James Arthur at 40, Alive by KX5 featuring The Moth and the Flame holding promising stability at 34, Make Me Feel by the Chainsmokers and Cheyenne Gills down to 29, a Millie remix by Lil Wayne and Side Piece thankfully not catching any momentum at 25, and even Clouds by Bunt and Nate Traveler down a bit to 20, although I expect that last one to stick around. Outside of that, Toxic Las Vegas Jameson Shaw remix by Elvis Presley and Britney Spears continues to freefall at 46, but the real unfortunate case comes in our last 2 falls of Do It All Again by Punctual and Jordan Shaw out far too early at 47, and especially Blur Better With Time by Fred Again down to 44. Although I can see the latter surviving into next week and hitting 20 weeks, thank God for that at least. But hey, at least the quality came in our jumps and comebacks, where in the former we saw some considerable jumps across the board. Yes, I'm not happy that Woke Up In Love by Kygo Griffin and Callum Scott managed to surge up to 14 off of streaming, or that Worst Day by ILLENIUM and Max surged up to 37 thanks to residual connections to the new single. But at the same time we got Chill Like That by Sunday Scaries and Pickup Lines rebounding to 43, and especially Messy in Heaven by Venby and Godar continuing its slow rise up to 38. Those are both really promising signs going forward. I hope both are able to become stable hits. Along with that, the comebacks were both really great too, with Call It Love by Felix Jan and Ray Dalton at 49, and Dash Star by Nog 2 somehow still going strong at 50. I hope these are both able to barely survive and stick around too. They're both really good songs. But onto yet another big list of debuts, once again starting with something strange in number 39, Right or Wrong Hypnosis by Pitbull, AAoD, and AAoD.
No sé si estoy bien, no sé si estoy mal, fumar o tomar, a mí me da igual.
At this point, I shouldn't even be surprised Pitbull is consistently charting here. He's one of the most entertaining parts of modern dance music at the moment. Even if the songs aren't always there from a quality perspective, they're always still hella interesting and really fun to talk about. Hence, we got this. For context, this adds to the large list of Pitbull's discography that samples other songs, this one being a remix of a song Hypnosis by AAoD and AAoD that's been getting some decent TikTok traction. Additionally, both AAoD and AAoD are prominent house artists themselves, with AAoD even releasing on Monster Cat Compound a while back and and being generally fine. And yeah, this song is generally fine too. Of course, the production is really good. Both AAoD and Error 808 created a really punchy tech house beat with some really nice saxophone integration that builds well into the hook, where the vocal sample plays well against the rest of the song. And hell, I think Pitbull's integrations on the hook are solid. He's got the energy and hype man delivery to really work here. That being said, man, his verses are just dry, focusing on the same openly horny list-driven format he's been doing for years now. It really feels bog standard at this point, and this doesn't have the insane premise that made Cafe con Leche stand out so much. So yeah, it's pretty good. Although I personally don't see this having the same staying power as Pitbull's other charting singles in the last 2 years, there is a clear formula that some might find repetitive at this point. Still, it's solid. Check it out. Number 35, Party Jumpin' by Marshmello and Jamie Brown. Okay, I was wondering when we'd get more Joytime and Jason material from Marshmello. Before You dropped last year, you'd think there would be some sort of follow-up to it. Not to say I was excited for this though, especially with the buzz being mixed to negative, and yeah, I definitely don't like this at all. For one, it uses the exact same formula that literally every single Joytime track follows, using the generic happy build-up sound with some really poorly mixed hand claps against the grainy mix, where the melody is so weak and the atmosphere is almost distractingly confined and not particularly good. That's nothing though compared to the drops, which blast you with an unbearable amount of clipping and the fuzzy backing synths that distract from an otherwise fine lead and some decent percussion. They just sound awfully mixed, which even for Marshmello Joytime standards says a lot. Look, I'm one of the few people who actually likes a fair chunk of the Joytime albums. They're not bad for what they are, but then you get songs like this that just stink to high heavens. Not a good song at all. I'd skip it. But on that topic, number 33, Womp Portal by Ganja, White Knights and Subtronics. Can you guys blame me for not being excited at all for this? I mean, I mostly like Ganja White Knight's collab with Slander and Miss You, but man alive, working with one of the worst producers in modern bass music for this gave me nothing to be excited for. And shocker, this sucks too. I mean, at least had potential with the verses. Once again, the bass mixing is a total joke with clear distortion, but the orchestral bombast had some potential, even if it's blatant trailer music filler. And hell, I like the drone-esque lead on the build-ups. It's decently cinematic, creates a really nice dystopic atmosphere, which the drops just absolutely fucking fumble. Seriously, I don't get how this is so hard to achieve. You're a world-famous dubstep producer, you make such solid build-ups, but then you waste them on this? A mix of flat clipping leads with some of the weakest percussion and a slow plodding tempo where every instrument is mixed together like total ass? Seriously, the contrast in quality between the build-ups and drops is laughably jarring. The fact these drops are even on the same song just really pisses me off, I'm not gonna lie. So okay, yeah, the verses do save this slightly. It's better than nearly every single song on Fractals, which says a lot, but I can't call this remotely good, and I'm still trying to figure out why people give interchangeable dubstep like this any sort of attention. I'd pass. Number 31, Hollow by Dabin, Wachi and Le Spirit. Okay, wow, this genuinely shocked me. I mean, I knew Dabin was going to get a charting song soon, especially given he was one of the producers on Hearts on Fire by ILLENIUM, but I didn't think it would be this song, a collab with Wachi, who is in himself a pretty promising bass music producer who I never thought would hit the dance charts, as well as metal singer Le Spirit. High hopes here, and wow, this is great. See, this is the sort of song that makes me really question why people give artists like Subtronics any attention, because in comparison, everyone here gives their all. The production is absolutely stunning, merging melodic dubstep and metal together in a really flattering way, where the guitar sounds so nice against the spacious mix with some really nice complementary synths in the background, as Le Spirit hollers his lungs out with some really convincing shouts that echo in the mix. Now, I would say the melodic structure of this song would be a major turnoff. It's a formula that's really starting to get old in most modern dubstep, but honestly, really like the heavy drop here, and given the aggressive sound and vocalist involved, it honestly fits way better here. It's not like Feel Something where the production goes so far tonally from where it starts for the heavy drop. This actually has the appropriate heaviness alongside the melodic drop that balances out quite well. So yeah, really great song. I don't expect this to stick around because songs like this don't usually get a long shelf life, but I would not be complaining if it did stick around. I really like this. Number 15, Leave Me Like This by Skrillex and Bobby Raps. Should anyone be surprised the song debuted as high as it did. I mean, putting aside Skrillex's continuous streak of quality this year, he's dropped 5 singles and they've all been good, spoilers for the next 2 weeks, but this also had the added benefit of Fred Again's Boiler Room set once again, which on a side note is one of the most genius marketing strategies the industry has seen. Well done to Fred again for that. Anyways, it should be no surprise that I fucking love this song. Hell, it might actually be my favourite of the singles from Skrillex this year, or at least up there. You can definitely hear Fred Again's influences on this song right down to the way Bobby raps is integrated, where his voice feels like a vocal sample in the song with how much it's repeated. It's a sound that's really flattering for Skrillex, especially when he punches up the production to go more towards tech house, with some incredibly crisp percussion and some really nice sense of space that builds into some of his most manic and crazy drops to date, where that bass just absolutely knocks you on your ass against the echoey backing vocal chops. It's a song that just consistently hits on all fronts and is an absolute banger across the board. Not much more to say here. I really hope this sticks around. It's got potential to be one of my favorite hits of 2023. Absolutely excellent song. Please, let's make this a hit. And finally, number 11, Love Me a Little by ILLENIUM and Nina Nesbitt.
Say we're not finished yet. Tell me I'm weighing on your mind. Baby, won't you say?
Okay, look, I want to clarify something about ILLENIUM that is partially why I've been so mixed and negative on his recent work. I was a fan of this guy for the longest time. Even Fallen Embers has a lot of really good stuff on it, but 2022 exposed just how much his pop side could really fall apart, especially when the production felt more sanitized and the drops sounded worse and worse. And given how badly the majority of his singles performed in 2022, it really was telling how much the public was starting to turn on his music. So I was genuinely curious when this became by far his highest debut in the last few years, and it makes me so goddamn happy that this is really damn good. I mean, yes, there are some production touches here, like the vocal chops and the drops that do sound a little bit awkward, as well as that fake out before the second drop that just didn't need to be there. But otherwise, this is one of his richest and most lush arrangements in some time. The synth sounds so pretty against the light tap of the percussion. Nina Nesbitt sounds genuinely invested here, which is a plus for a song this huge and cinematic. And man, these drops are absolutely gorgeous, balancing the percussion out with a genuinely good melody and some solid bombast. Honestly, this whole song reminds me a lot of his Awake album, which, as many of you know, is easily my favorite album from him. So hearing this sound come back in 2023 is absolutely gold. I really like this one. So yeah, really good song. I hope this sticks around. It would be awesome to hear more like this, and it's kind of raised my hope for the self-titled album when that comes out. But somehow it's not even the best or honourable runner-up here, with the latter going to Hollow by Dabin and ILLENIUM in the Spirit, with Best easily going to Leave Me Like This by Skrillex and Bobby Raps. For the worst, I think Party Jumpin' by Marshmello and Jamie Brown is going to get that, although Womp Portal by Ganja, and Subtronics is getting Dishonourable runner-up. At least the build-ups were okay, even if nothing else was. Next week, more Skrillex incoming, although I would be curious to see if that SG Lewis album gets any sort of momentum. We'll have to see there. But yeah, that's all for this episode of the Analysis of Dance. See you next time.